I never wanted kids. Never felt the urge, never dreamed about it. I thought I made that clear when I got married, but my wife was convinced I'd changed my mind. "You'd be such a great dad," she'd say. "You just don't know it yet." I told her from day one I don't have it in me. I'm responsible, I'm supportive, I'll take care of whoever I need to. But love, that fatherly bond people talk about, I just don't think it exists in me. But then, surprise, she got pregnant. I won't lie, I was furious. I felt trapped, tricked even. But I was raised to do the right thing, so I stayed. And when my son was born, I waited for the emotions to hit, for that overwhelming love everyone swore would happen, but it never did. I did everything by the book, woke up at night to feed him, changed diapers, walked him around when he cried. I took care of him the way I'd take care of a pet because I had to. I watched my wife fall in love with him, dedicate her entire being to him, but for me, he was just there. And then came the resentment. My wife slowly started seeing me less as a husband and more as a co-parent. Every conversation revolved around the baby. Every date night got canceled because she was too tired. Sex? Gone. I became a provider, an extra set of hands. And I felt myself slipping away. I wasn't a man anymore. I was a duty. I tried. I really did. I kept thinking, maybe it'll click later. Maybe when he talks. Maybe when he walks. Maybe when he says, "Dad." But each milestone passed and still nothing. And then, my wife got pregnant again. This time, I knew she did it on purpose. I overheard her talking to her sister, saying she thought a second baby would bring us closer, that maybe I'd connect with at least one of them. When I confronted her, she broke down, admitted everything, begged me to stay. She said she couldn't do this alone, that she needed me, that she knew I had love in me somewhere, I just had to find it. I stayed. And for another 4 years, I went through the motions. Provided, helped, supported. But that love she was hoping for, it never showed up. And then, the twist. She met someone else. She didn't cheat, at least not physically. But I saw the signs, the texts, the late nights, the way she started dressing up again, started smiling at her phone. She found someone who made her feel alive, and I knew right then I'd already lost her. One night I asked her, "Do you love him?" She broke down sobbing. She didn't answer, but she didn't have to. I packed my bags the next day. People think I left because of the affair, but the truth is, I left because I was never really there to begin with. I see my kids on weekends now. I take them to the park, buy them ice cream, do what I'm supposed to do. But still, that feeling everyone talks about, the love, the connection, it's just not there. And the worst part, I don't even feel guilty about it.
I will be very grateful if you subscribe to our channel.
I'm 43. That weird age where you're not young, but not exactly old either. I was married for 16 beautiful years before my husband passed away. 4 years later, I thought I was finally ready to move forward. But no one tells you how violent loneliness can feel. It's not just quiet nights, it's waking up at 2 a.m. reaching for someone who isn't there. It's walking into a restaurant alone and feeling like the world is watching you. It's needing to share a joke, a memory, a bad day, and realizing there's no one on the other end. So, I gave in. I downloaded a dating app. Biggest mistake of my life. At first, it was entertaining flirty messages, the thrill of possibility. But it didn't take long to see the reality. Married men looking for a discreet affair. Men 20 years older than me, treating me like some desperate last resort. Guys who talked only about sex, sending the most disgusting messages within minutes. I deleted the app. It wasn't worth it. Then, fate did something cruel. I met him. Not on an app, not online, but at my usual coffee shop. He was charming, confident, The kind of man who doesn't just walk into a room, he owns it. He sat next to me, struck up a conversation, and within minutes, I was laughing in a way I hadn't in years. For the first time since my husband, I felt something. We started seeing each other casually. Coffee dates turned into late-night calls. Calls turned into long drives. Long drives turned into nights where I'd fall asleep in his arms, his hands tracing circles on my back, whispering how beautiful I was. I thought, maybe this is it. Maybe life was giving me a second chance. Then the bomb dropped. One night I was at his place. His phone buzzed. He grabbed it so quickly, so desperately that my stomach dropped. I wasn't prepared for what came next. I confronted him, and he sighed, ran a hand through his hair, and then, with the most casual voice, he said, "I never lied to you. You just never asked. Turns out, I was the other woman." His wife had no idea I existed. He wasn't separated. He wasn't unhappy. He just liked the thrill. I left that night, numb, hollow. The next morning, he called. And called. And called. I ignored every one. Then, I got a message from a number I didn't recognize. His wife. It was one sentence. "You're not the first. You won't be the last." I blocked them both. Deleted his pictures. Wiped everything. I should be shattered. But all I feel is angry. Because I was fine before this. I was healing. I was whole. And this man, this selfish, careless bastard, reopened every wound. So, I'm done. I don't care if I'm alone forever. I'd rather be alone than be someone's fool.